point, you don't have to take another snap.
Kyle Leaford is the guy who, by the way, is trying to rip the football out.
I mean, there are a number of layers. Inside 40 seconds.
Right.
Which means you take a knee, and then at that point, you don't have to take another snap.
Kyle Leaford is the guy who, by the way, is trying to rip the football out.
I mean, there are a number of layers here. Inside 40 seconds.
Right.
Which means you take a knee, and then at that point, you don't have to take another snap.
Kyle Leaford is the guy who, by the way, is trying to rip the football out.
I mean, there are a number of layers here.
What's good? What's good? What's going on, man? What's going on, man? How many got here? 33 here, man. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. For the villains, the link is in the YouTube membership for the villains. We're gonna let you guys come on here and see a few of y'all already in the back. I'm gonna bring my boys in here. Rich, got X in the back. X heard from some recruits last night. We got Kyle in the back. Tough loss last night for the Hurricanes, bro. But their future is their future. Their destiny awaits right on the schedule. We're gonna get into that. And I'll get a little deeper with the villains. The villains, man, tonight we'll get in the Discord, man, and then we'll chop it up. And I'll get a little deeper in on what I think. Let me bring my boy X in here. X, what's going on, bro?
What's up? What's good?
What was the vibe on the recruits, bro?
Man, the recruits was vibing. It was a good vibe. The atmosphere was good. I spoke with a few of them. They were like, yeah, they enjoyed the fact that the stadium was lit. I think it was about like 50-something thousand there. I don't know if they announced it, something like that, but yeah, they liked the vibe. The vibe was good.
Yeah. I don't think the recruits put an onus on, like, I don't put as much onus as people think when it's talked about wins and losses. And I think the recruits, I mean, they feel, listen, bro, we come to change things. Like, I think a lot of them sometimes feel like that. I think we put too much onus on what they saw. Ohio State looked pretty bad in the first half yesterday too. You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, nobody this college season has looked totally dominant. Not one team in college football. The one thing recruits understand is the plan that Mario has. Mario is telling the kids, like, hey, each year we're trying to build to be this. We 1 year down so far. Now we're in year 2. It's not going to just happen overnight in year 2. You know what I'm saying? So the recruits understand it. They know they can be a part of that build Miami to what the expectations are.
I don't. You're right. I don't think it's that much onus, bro. I don't think. I'm not gonna say that much onus, but I think people overplay that part. Now, is it a bad vibe after the game? The coaches got to talk to recruits after a loss like this. Of course it is. So listen, if you in the back, I see a lot of y'all, a lot of callers, a lot of villains in the back for the call-in show. Just make 2 things. You ain't got to be on camera. Make sure your background is quiet. If your background not quiet, you got your baby mama in the background. She yelling, talk about come pick up the kids, or your child telling me she want a biscuit this morning. Y'all made waffles. We're gonna kick you out of here. All right, that makes sense. I'm gonna bring my boys in here, Rich and Kyle, looking like he on a road trip. What's going on, dog?
What's good, bro?
Chilling. Tough loss last night, man. Like I said, I get a little deeper with the villains, man, into how I think. But the main thing here, bro, is you guys can see on that right now. Destiny awaits is what we put. Let me see. Destiny awaits is what it says, right? The Miami Hurricanes' destiny sits on this schedule. Period. Now, if I'm wrong, actually, y'all help me out. Now, in the SEC, in the comment section, y'all help me out. They beat those teams on that schedule. They're in the ACC championship, right?
Yeah, you win every game. Yeah, you win every game from here. You have that one ACC loss.
But head against everybody.
Yeah, you got to play Carolina, you got to play Florida State, you got to play Louisville. So if you beat them, those are the other teams who haven't lost the ACC game yet. And Duke, I think Duke haven't lost one either. But we don't play Duke. So, yeah, you beat them, you get to the ACC championship game.
Right. So that's what I'm gonna start. That's where I'm about to start here. Through all the malarkey and all the trash and everything that went wrong last night and everything I think going wrong from ACC and what they want and TVD, I don't know, Quaaludes, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Whatever went on last night, somebody sent me a study about why you don't change uniforms during the season. I'm gonna get into that. I got to read that. You know what I'm saying? A soccer coach did a study on it. But the bottom line of it is that the bully has to come by your house. Basically, the bully has to come by your house. What? 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 times, and you gotta. And if you beat them, your season is exactly where you wanted it to be at the end of the season. Period. I mean, so for all the what we saw last night and all the crying, their destiny is sitting on the schedule. You saw JJ last night, X? Jeremiah Smith?
Yeah.
He was straight?
Everybody was straight, man. He was smiling, having some fun.
Yeah.
The other one that I got said, Chance had a smile on his face, and I've never seen Chance smile before.
Chance was happy? Why Chance so happy?
I don't know why. He just was smiling, though. He was smiling.
We just had a TV show with Chance.
But
Ellen in the house. Good morning.
It was some, it was a lot of underclassmen, like 26 guys there, like a lot.
Yeah.
Like more than I even thought. It was a lot.
Yeah.
So I see, again, I see what Mario is, he's trying to do. He's trying to build each class to get Miami where they need to be. And like you say, again, I don't think it was a loss. You know what I'm saying? It was a bad loss, but it wasn't a loss like the players looked at that bad on the field outside of TBD play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the players see the progression. They see, okay, well, the receivers can do this, or the running backs can do that. You know what I'm saying? Or the DBs, the linebackers, So
yeah. I don't think the recruits put onus on losses and wins. I don't think it works like that. I don't think it's like, oh man, they came here and they lost. I don't think they look at it like that. I mean, some of them jokers be looking at it like, ooh, I get a chance to play. Let them keep being bad. Rich, man, what was your thought on the game last night, bro?
It was like something, you watch in the Twilight Zone. It was just one of them games where everybody was stunned. I even think Mario was stunned. Man, I wish you could see Jason Taylor's face. Jason Taylor was standing there with his arms folded like what the hell just happened? He was just, everybody was kind of like, what happened?
Right.
And, at that moment, that's when you try to collect your thoughts and you try to figure out where we went wrong. I think all the fans are like that as well. Like, where the hell did we go wrong? And where do we go from here?
I got a question for the fans. Anybody, because y'all smarter than me. My smart guys. Does any entity benefit from Miami not being good? Like, does the ACC, is there some benefit the ACC benefit from Miami not being great? Anybody, ESPN, ABC, is there an entity that wants to devalue? And let me know in the comment section. Y'all just let me know. Is there an entity that benefits? Is Miami is mediocre? It benefits them somehow. Whether it's ESPN, whether it's ABC, whether it's ACC. Let me know. Cal, what was your thoughts on the game, bro?
Thoughts on the game? I wasn't confused. I was upset. For the whole game. I wasn't confused at all. It's like, what just happened? Where did we go wrong? We went wrong at kickoff. from TVD. I don't know what that boy was on, lean or whatever he had going on. From TVD and I'm looking at Dawson's, like Dawson got a little conservative on us. It was weird. That part was weird. Outside of that, everything else was at a high level. If you take away the last minute of the game, if somebody would have told me to give out grades, everybody got an A except TVD and Dawson. Dawson probably would have got like a B or C. TVD would have got an F, but everybody else would have got an A. That's the weirdest way to lose. Like you dominate them defensively. Your line is getting pushed. No, we're not breaking for 30 and 40, but your line is getting pushed. Even when they stack the box, you're still getting pushed. The receivers, I don't know if I recall any like clean drops, but the guys were open. And they was letting you have Restrepo, which was what you love to do. Everything was going right on 99% of the game, parts of the game. That last 1% was a large percent. And that was TVD in the passing game. I don't know, bro. That was the craziest thing. That's the only thing I got to point a finger to, aside from all the, stuff that happened at the end.
And the fact that he was just sitting there in a pocket, not getting pressured, and he still just throwing the ball like you had somebody about to kill you, TVD. Like,
that boy threw a 10-minute interception, dog.
I said yesterday during the game, I tweeted, I say, man, the offensive coordinator, the offense is not looking good. People were like, well, the coach ain't throwing the ball. I say, well, he's not throwing the ball, but if you're looking at the offense, Georgia Tech is giving y'all something that y'all not. TVD, what all his interceptions were either on the outside or that one in the middle of the field in the end zone. The middle of the field was open all game. TVD.
Everybody was open on that play. On that play, everybody was open except Restrepo.
He had 10 minutes to throw the ball. This man threw a 10-minute interception trying to make sure he get the ball to Restrepo. Like, bro, what is going on with that?
I don't know. Rich said, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's just Restrepo. Is it the first read? Is it I'm going here with the ball? Whether it's Restrepo, whether it's George or some plays. Bro, I don't. It was mind-boggling. It was mind-boggling.
That's a good question. Kevin Parker said, how many times was TVD sacked?
He was sacked once, and that was on him for holding the ball. He was hit twice.
After a timeout.
Like, literally, he was not getting bothered. And he was just... That was one of those games. I think he was all the way out. I have no excuse.
He was out of it.
He had a horrible game.
He was zooted.
Yeah. Everybody in the back, everybody for the villains call us because the link. There's a link. The villains can call in. The link, the phone number, whatever, is in the members section. I see y'all guys in the back. I'm gonna bring y'all on here. We're gonna open that up in a second, man, and let y'all vent. Just make sure your background is quiet, bro. Make sure your background quiet. Make sure your kids ain't running around yelling, or your grandma ain't in the back talking about who ate all the grits. Just make sure your backgrounds are quiet. I'm gonna let y'all listen to this. This is a soccer guy, Darwin. They're talking about wearing alternate jerseys. Let me see if y'all can hear this.
Those games that were not making sense to us in league and union.
Y'all can hear that?
Teams were cohesive and they weren't winning. So in Super Rugby, for example, it's about 85% of the games are won by the most cohesive team. But even in the ones that we get wrong, it might be there's a red card or a yellow card, or there's injuries and the numbers will actually change. But these ones were just like making no sense whatsoever. And then there was like 300 of them in total. And we looked at NRL, we looked at AFL a little bit as well. And I wonder I don't know if Harry's heard this before, but Harry, what do you think we found about the teams who weren't winning games when they should have?
Their kit was horrible to look at. It was clashing color styles, turquoise.
That's the closest anyone's ever gotten.
Jersey chat. Yeah. Now this Harry is where I must confess that Ben and I had this conversation the other day. Yeah, I said fantastic. We've been having all sorts of jersey chat. We need to get into this. So this is the whole thing, isn't it? So alternate strips are like kryptonite to good teams. Is that what
So what basically happened was.
Well, I was right.
Yeah, you're right.
I was trying to be silly.
No. Basically, what he's saying is alternate uniforms. They did a little research on it. Out of 300 teams, it's like kryptonite to good teams. Like anytime they wear alternate uniforms, they don't play well. That's the last issue on my list. I got a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? That's the last issue on my list. But that team last night looked totally different. Like you read, Rich, there was no pulling. There was no pulling of the there was no pulling, like you said, Rich, the offensive line.
Yeah.
And before I open up the phone lines for the villains, Kyle, your Restrepo, break down how you broke down Restrepo last night when you said if you're giving Restrepo the ball, if he got 6, could you break that down for the people how you see it? Because he's very effective. I can't take nothing from him, you know what I'm saying? But break that down for the people. Yeah. That was you and Rich, right?
So So let me see if I can make it a little bit simpler. If I gave every receiver, all our top 3 receivers, if I gave them 10 catches, if I gave Kobe 10, I gave George 10, I gave Restrepo 10. In what order are you going to put the stats? Like, who are you going to say had the best production out of those 10 with their 10? You're probably going to go Young. If Young got 10 catches, he's probably going to have almost 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. If Jacoby's got 10 catches, he's probably going to have like 150. Yeah, we've seen Jacoby go for 3 touchdowns. If Restrepo have 10, if Restrepo have 10 catches, that's something he normally does, and he can have 10 catches, 100 yards, and no touchdowns. So it's the production factor of who you get in the ball. The type of guy Restrepo is he's going to get open. He's going to get underneath. He's never going to do anything to cost you. I ain't going to say never because we all make mistakes, but he's not going to do anything to cost you a game. He's not going to negatively impact the game. However, the superlatives, all the big stuff, the big plays, the money plays, all that kind of stuff, that's not going to show up on his stat line. That's just not the type of receiver he is. He's a chain mover and all that kind of good stuff. He's a third down guy, and all that stuff is fantastic. So when you make that your primary target, you're setting yourself up to be maybe pedestrian at worst, but at best you're kind of moving at average pace. If Young is your first target and he's productive, yeah, Young is getting chunk plays here, there. He's jumping over people. He's getting touchdowns. When you force 10 balls to Restrepo, it's not going to be an explosive game. And it's nothing against Restrepo, and it's not a negative. But it's just that that can't be your dominating factor. It cannot be. And I think for TVD, that's what it is. But that kind of holds the offense back. But you're not. When we needed it, where did we go? We blurred. Young down the field, we blurred. And we throw our hands up saying, where it's been all game. Well, when Restrepo's your first option, when you force the ball to Restrepo, that's where it's been. That's not Restrepo's fault. But I said it in the first. Yeah, I said it in the first half. I'm in the group, man. I say, y'all cannot tell me that Restrepo is the only person open. What is going on here? So I think TVD being and looking discombobulated. What is he going to do, Street? I'm going right to my safety valve. The first look, second look, and the third look. Straight to the safety valve because I'm confused today. But, yeah. I hope it made sense to everybody.
Right. So, Rich, it does. It makes sense. And it's crazy because Restrepo delivers for us. But you're talking about being efficient. You're talking about being explosive. You're talking about making plays and not just, look at the stat column. You know what I'm saying? 16 catches. Yeah. Like you're talking about, you know what I'm saying, delivering. And I don't know. Shout out to Restrepo, man. But that's all. That's all I can say. Shout out to Restrepo. Much respect to you, your family, bro. Y'all you do your thing. I think the quarterback has to make those decisions, or the OC has to make those decisions. Like Rich, when you said, I saw it when I'm on the field, we in the end zone, and I saw when you said in the villain group me, hey man, they threw the ball to Kobe Young when Restrepo. I forgot Kobe Young was on the field for 3 quarters. Right. Restrepo went out the game, and all of a sudden
they start throwing the ball. Exactly, and So what Kyle was alluding to is there's a point of diminishing returns with receivers. For instance, Kobe Young. If Kobe Young played in the slot, how many times are you going to surprise the defense until they like, okay, we caught on now. He done caught 2 balls in the middle. He ain't catching nothing else. This is why you have receivers that do specific things, and you can't do it all game unless you have a Calvin Johnson, and we don't have a Calvin Johnson. So you got to make sure that you are cognizant of that, where you're like, okay, I got to get my tight ends in the game. I got to get my my tall receivers on some fade routes. I need to get Restrepo the ball when I need to move the chains. And then, yes, you're right. It's almost like we had to pull Restrepo out the game in the 4th quarter in order for TVD to be like, okay, there's other receivers that's playing too.
That's so weird to me, dog. All right, man, let's get our first caller in here, dog. Bit Jackson, man, I hope you ain't fell asleep back there, bro. I'm going to bring you up, man. If I bring you in here and you don't say nothing, man, you're going to have to get back to the end of the line. Bit Jackson, you there, bro? Bit. You got to unmute yourself. But that's a good take on that, Rich.
You can go to the next one. I'm just watching.
All right. Eric, what's going on, bro? Y'all got to unmute yourself when you come in. Eric fell asleep. D-Fly. Sean. Oh, Gabe, we're going Gage Shotty. Gage Shotty, what's going on, man? You got to unmute yourself.
What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
I knew Shotty was going to be there.
Right.
I knew Shotty was going to be there.
Shotty, what's going on, bro?
Oh, man. Not what we just witnessed last night ain't what's going on, man. Man, I'm really just, give me a second street, man, because I'm really just recovering, man. I drank so much tequila after watching that beat us, man. Listen here, man. I feel sorry for everybody, man, not named Mario or Shannon Dawson, man, after that crap, man. Like, for real. How can you not? He can sit up there and say what he want, man. You definitely was trying to get Cheney his 100, man. Between you and Dawson, man, I don't know who came up with, hey, man, let's get Cheney his 100 real quick. No matter what, kneel the ball out, man. Let's just kneel the ball out, get the dub, man. Like, it's no excuse for that. But getting back to what
they did announce that Cheney already had 100 yards before that last carry. So
they had already announced it. So he really wasn't no excuse to get that man the rock, man. Like, no excuse whatsoever, man. Kneel it out, get out of there. Period, man. No excuse, Mario. There's no excuse. Them dudes went through too much adversity. TVD put that team in too much adversity, man, with those throws he was making, man. And for them to fight back like they did, man, that game was supposed to be won, man. Period, point blank, man. It was supposed to be won. But TVD, man, with that, him targeting Restrepo 20 times is crazy and lunacy. Shannon Dawson, what I learned from that yesterday, man, was Shannon Dawson basically is trying to implement Restrepo like Tank Dell, man, and he ain't that dude for that role. He can't do on our team what Tank Dell did for him in Houston, man, period. If you're going to try to run that, man, you got to get Richard or Ray out there.
You think it's Dawson? You think it's Dawson? You think it's Shannon Dawson? Because him and Tank Dell, they're not the same. They're not the same athletes, right? You think it's Dawson?
No, they're not. No, they're not. It's TBD. It's not Dawson. It's Dawson's systems. It's on TBD, man, because Restrepo was all he sees. He got tunnel vision for Restrepo. Like y'all just said, everybody was open on that 10-minute interception, bro. You can go with the ball to anybody. The man don't go to his check downs. He don't look for Young. George be open damn near every play. Harold get out there. It's like when they put Harold in the game, they almost use Harold to get Restrepo open. Harold runs those routes and those mesh routes just to get Restrepo's ass open, man. Get the ball to Harold. Harold is the one who can take the top off the defense. It's almost like defenses are starting to leave Restrepo open because he's not athletic enough to get nowhere on the field anyway. Like you hit on all these yards he getting and no touchdowns. That don't add up, man. That's cool, but that ain't giving us the production we need, man. We got dudes that get in the end zone with few touches. We got dudes that's not getting no touches, man, because you feed Restrepo and trying to get him into the first and second round. I don't know what's going on with TVD, man. That was lunacy to watch that crap last night, man. And then I can't be mad at. I seen some people want to get at Cam Kitchens our All-American. I ain't mad at Cam on that, man. I ain't mad at nobody on that defense because they probably mentally had checked out, man. They probably had their shoulder pads unstrapped and everything, thinking they was about to kneel this ball out. And now here it is. We got to go out here and try to defend this field, man. They should. It's a part of we sat up there and watched 5 more minutes of a game that shouldn't even existed, man. Like them dudes were supposed to have helmets on in the middle of the field saying, "Woo, we survived, man. Like we played like we ain't play our best. Well, our quarterback didn't play his best, but we still should have won this game, man."
Right. So listen to this, Gage. Listen to this. Me and Torn sitting in the end zone, right? And we sitting there. The entire stadium know that they're about to call this, that he's down, the game about to be over, right? Picture this now. The defense is out there. The entire stadium has watched this play 20 times, right?
Right.
They finna call him down. Ref comes back. He makes the announcement. Inclusive, we can't play on the field stand. They spotted that ball so fast and said, "Go." You should have saw the look on our defense, dog. Because think about it. It's a shocker to them, too.
Yeah.
They spotted that ball and they said, "Go." And I was like, what is this, street football? What just happened?
Crazy, man. It was.
Mario should have called a timeout and regrouped. That was their second chance to call a timeout. Because, dog, our defense wasn't ready to play defense, dog. Dog, I don't know what y'all see on TV.
Yeah.
But, bro, they called that. They set that ball down almost as if the time was still running, dog. I didn't understand what the rush was.
Right. They definitely should have used the timeout right there. Regroup them, man. They don't know what's going on. They were out of it, man. Like completely out of it.
Listen, bro. This Gage, the sequence of last play of the game. I've been reffing the game for 3 hours. I'm finna walk out of here with $200,000. How much does they make? You call a fumble in the last play of the game. Just think about this.
Yeah.
You call a fumble on the last play of the game. You at work. It's like you being at work and you walking out of work and you like, oh, I could just knock that out right there. You know what I'm saying? Let me go knock that out.
Yeah. And they get fired on your way out the door.
Right, dog. You call, think what I'm saying. You call a questionable call the last play of the game. When your job could depend on you making good and bad calls, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Let me call this fumble right here, last play of the game. Any referees in the comment section? What conversation are y'all having with this guy in the parking lot? And what is his purpose? Like why would he do that?
The only thing I can say is the fact that they know that they can lean on replay. So it's kind of like I'd rather make the call and then be able to check on the call than to not make the call at all. That's kind of the only excuse I can give him. And I can kind of understand that because I'll make the call and it's a bad call. I get to go look and see. But if I don't make the call, I can't go check on the call. So that's kind of like just leaning on instant replay.
Boy,
make this even crazier, man. What makes this even crazier is that this is the second time Mario did this, man. He did that in the Oregon-Stanford game, man.
Stanford versus Oregon, yep.
Stanford versus Oregon, man. He fucking could have knelt it out, man, and handed that ball off, and they fumbled, man, and they got lucky that Stanford didn't punch it in, man. He survived that time. But for you to do it again is just unfathomable, bro. Like, who does that twice? Like, come on, man. To do it once is crazy, but to do it twice in your career, Mario, like, come on, man. You got to get it together, man. He got to get it. He disappointed me so bad last night with that, man. It go way deeper than.
But what about Dawson? What about Dawson in that moment?
Anybody, any assistant coach on that sideline, anybody should have been in this. Dude, I could have been on defense and been like, hey, man, why y'all not kneeling? Y'all should kneel this out. I'm dealing with insubordination or whatever you want to come at me later. I would have been like, man, y'all better kneel. What are y'all doing?
I agree. I agree.
A lot of it, dog. Why is Cheney running so hard? Like the last play. Like, why is he running so hard?
Why are you fighting for yards, Cheney? Just go down. Just go down.
All of it is kind of like
the whole game was weird from the jump, from the kickoff. That game did not feel right, man.
And that's what I want to tell everybody, Gage. Anybody who think Kane fans are crabbing, I'm not one to ever come up here and be like, hey man, they cheated. That's not my emotion. I've seen cheating in sports maybe twice. Maybe twice. The last night was a third, but I'm gonna get into that with the villains. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's tripping.
Right. Like it's. I'm not that guy. You know what I'm saying? But you hand the ball to Cheney, right? He goes down. The game is over. We're not thinking about that being a bad call at all. It's just we're not thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? The fact that something tragic happened is when we start second guessing what just happened.
Well, no, sitting at home, Tim Hasselbeck was predicting it the whole thing. Tim Hasselbeck said it's almost like if he had Mario's number, man, he would have texted him and been like, "Hey, man, you know you should kneel this ball out. What are you doing?" But you know what are we doing?
He said,
yes. And then he said this though. This getting back to TVD. This on TVD and Dawson, man, as far as game manager. Guess what though? That last drive could have only had about 5-10 seconds for them to do something because TVD snapping the ball with 4, 5, 8 seconds.
Yeah, it was 6, 7. Yeah, 6, 7 seconds left.
Run the play clock down to 2 and 1 for the snap, man. The whole drive that man snapped that ball too early. Every snap, man.
That's on coach.
That's on coaching, man. That's on coaching.
Tell to me like, man, don't snap that ball until 2 seconds. Like
you got Hasselbeck sitting here telling you what to do on TV. We sit here. Anybody at home watching that, man, probably threw something at they screen at the end of that, man. I swear, man.
But no, Gage, I'm gonna bring Master Kane in here, man. Master Kane, what's going on, man? You long time villain, bro. I'm gonna let you chill though, Gage, man. You good commentary. Long time villain, Master Kane. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, man. Can you hear me pretty good?
Yeah, you sound real good, man. You got your plaques on the wall. What we got going on back there, bro? That's AI video. Or that's real back there. What we got back there?
That's real. That's real. But hey, so a couple of things with this thing, man. But and actually, I put a link in the chat.
Right.
This is not. If you go back and we didn't really realize it, but somebody had put a link out there showing at the end of the game that at the end of the last 4 games we had this year, 20 seconds left in the game, all we had to do was kneel. We ran the ball. So it is coaching. And I don't even think it even clicked in Mario's mind to kneel at all. Just do what they've been doing, which is run the ball and then the clock run out and we just run off the field. Like we've done it the first 4 games of this year. And so we did it again tonight, but last night was different. It wasn't like the first 4 games. We had the game handily won. It didn't matter if we fumbled because the other team was not going to win, period. But last night was totally different. That one, once we overcame all those other travesties, the bad plays, the refs cheating and taking away points off the field. Once we overcame all of that, we had to do whatever we had to do just to get the hell out of there and get back into the locker room and reset this thing because it was a bad night. And that's when he should have did. So hopefully, this is the thing that's actually going to change that paradigm for him so that he doesn't do that moving forward. But as you was talking about the refs on the last play making that call, that takes me back to Ohio State playing UM and in the end zone when we defended that touchdown, what did they call? Pass in a motherfucking interference. Excuse my French. Pass interference, which led to us losing the championship. Which was and it came late. It came late. So that reminds me of that, big time.
Yeah. Kyle, X, y'all got any take on what Master Kane?
I like I'm
that link he talking about, that was Gio posted four previous games that Mario didn't take a knee. I'm with you. Like at that point, you look at it like, even if you take a knee, like what benefits it? You can just run the clock off by trying to get your younger players some snaps. So I agree in that situation. But then yesterday again, it's like it's almost becoming like the truth that he's a bad game manager. He doesn't know how to manage the game. Like if it's a close game, you looking at it like, okay, you still got 3 timeouts. Why you still got all these timeouts? You know what I'm saying? I know you need to call a timeout at some point, but you still got all these timeouts for. You know what I'm saying? Why
he normally wastes them.
Why is this quarterback in shotgun in 20 seconds? Like, what? Get on the center and take that knee. That's just, come on, that's just how you're supposed to coach the game.
Yeah, that part blew my mind yes, the announcers was saying he should take a knee, but when DVD stayed in shotgun, I was like, okay, was he gonna take a knee back in shotgun then? But my thought was he's gonna take this knee and let that 40-second clock go ahead and run on out, and this game is nothing that could be done after that. And man, when they handed that ball off, I was like, oh my gosh. But of course, come on, man. The elbow was down before the ball was actually pried out, and those dudes called it, man. Yeah, we need to get some goons on these breaths, my friend. I'm sorry.
Inside 40 seconds.
Right.
Which means you take a knee, and then at that point, you don't have to take another snap.
Kyle Eifert is the guy who, by the way, is trying to rip the football.
So I got to talk to those two guys who was announcing the game. They were in the elevator when I was on the way down, and they were saying they were shocked, bro. The two guys announced, they were like, we said it. They were like, we said it on the telecast. Like, what is he doing? But dog, I don't. Bro, listen, to anybody who think Kane fans are just venting, like crying, just go watch the whole entire game. If you get a chance, sit down, watch the game. Game was very weird, bro. Very weird game. Any momentum Miami had, anything would happen. As soon as we scored, they got marched down. They scored. Then TVD gave them the ball back. If you look at the stats, what was the final stats on this game?
Listen, they literally ran through 4 quarters and all but 30 seconds left. They had 178 total yards.
Yeah.
Literally throughout 4 quarters and basically the whole game. 30 seconds left. They got 72 yards.
Before that ending drive. Yeah.
They got 72 yards in 30 seconds. They couldn't do nothing. Like nothing, literally.
Yeah,
so
we ended with what?
We ended with like 450 something.
453 total yards. Our time of possession was more. We had 35 minutes and 26 seconds time of possession. Then we ran 83 total plays. But check this out. Georgia Tech had 2 interceptions. We had 2 fumbles and 3 interceptions. We had 5 turnovers in that game.
Who else fumbled?
I'm not sure.
Kobe George.
When did he fumble?
Yeah, I didn't see that.
That was trying to see what was it, the second quarter? It was third quarter or second quarter, one of those.
5 turnovers.
5 turnovers. You got the stat line up. Rich, look at the penalties. What were the penalties like?
6 penalties for 80 yards. They had 11. They had on Miami. Georgia Tech had 11 penalties, but for 67 yards. So the penalties they had was more so procedure penalties, like 5 yards for they had a lot of procedure penalties. We had like 15 yards for unsportsmanlike conduct. So we had a lot of that.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, roughing the passer when the guy clearly basically trips Francisco. While Francisco's in the air, he can't do nothing but go down. He hits the quarterback, and they throw a flag. I'm like, well, how can you throw a flag when he literally got tripped? Like the guy tripped him. So it's like, y'all, they just, again, man, Jimmy said it, man, never let the refs, don't put the game in the refs' hand, man. You just go out there and beat that team. Let the refs say, hey, nothing we can do. This team is way better than them.
And that's what should have happened. That should have been the game last night. We should have beat the snot out of them because, again, in 99% of all phases of the game, all aspects of the game, we was whooping them badly. We just couldn't get TVD on the right page. Dawson was on some BS, and then Mario at the end. But outside of that, bro, that game should have been over at halftime. The defense is getting 3 and out. The defense is getting turnover. The offense is giving them nothing. They're even moving the ball, driving downfield. Then you get to a third and we need to pass. That's when everything just goes sour. I really was like, hey, if it was me, I would have benched him last night. Not permanently, but I would have benched him last night at some point, probably after halftime or something. He would have had to sit for a minute, get the cobwebs out, something. Yeah. I don't know. You would have had to sit down.
Looking on that sideline, and now at one point, Ja'Cory Brown or Emory looked like they were about to come in that game, and we got NIL involved. We had a conversation last night. We got NIL involved. We got investments in certain players involved, and yeah, bro. Now we're talking about making decisions for different reasons now. I mean, you got a lot of money invested in the guy. You don't want to tell these collective that he's the guy. So it's a lot. It's a lot of things at play. Master Kane, you got anything else you want to say, bro?
Yeah, the last thing that played through my mind was that snippet video of Dawson saying, "I'm trying to end this motherfucker." Well, that's not what happened last night. Like where was that guy? Calling the plays in the last 2 minutes. I'm trying to end. Where was that guy? Where was that guy the whole damn night?
Game.
To tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Where was that guy? That's the guy. That's the coordinator that definitely I wanted to see last night, because we did not have that guy. And maybe they knew DVD was a little out of sorts, out of sync, and they just didn't feel they could get him out of that in a different way. I don't know, but playing fast when we had our 2 minutes right before the half and we actually went down and got 3 points, we started playing fast for the little 2 minute thing. He kind of got himself in a better rhythm. I thought, and I said, if I'm the OC, when we come out and we get the ball back, because that's what we're going to do, we're going to start off playing fast again, trying to get him into a different rhythm and see if that kind of change and allow him to click and get himself where he needs to be, man. But, outside of that, I don't think all is lost, just like you kept saying, X. We got 7 more games, and just like you said, Street starting off, everything's in front of us, man. So
it is.
Well, we still can get it done. We still can get it.
Everybody you got to beat, yeah. All right, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Yep.
My biggest thing with this is, okay, last night lost. Looking at the players, man, some of the players' morale is kind of like just left. It was kind of sad to look, because like you said, like the defense, like, man, we already got this game well. We ain't got to get back on the field. Oh, right. We gotta go back on the field. Damn. It was 20 seconds left. We thought the game was over. We getting ready to go shake hands, go talk to the fans, talk to our family members, but we gotta go back on the field. A lot of heads were down. And I just hope and pray that that's not the lasting image that Kane fans see for the rest of the year, because normally when these kids' head go down, you tend to see how the season goes.
Right.
Leave that up, Street. Let me answer that real quick. Oh, Chris is saying that you've been TVD, that's your season. He not mentally stable for that. Whatever. I feel like this. If he's not mentally stable, it's because we probably been coddling him anyway. But I
Exactly.
feel like this. I don't necessarily know if that's your season because the best thing he does is one read. So as long as you drawing it up right and giving him a nice one read, okay, cool. He can catch his rhythm back. He'll be fine. What we lose is when we sit there and we try to make him Street. You want me to touch on this about them playing zone?
Yeah, run it.
So here's the thing. We know last year Gaddis was awful, correct? But the main problem I think personally what we had with TVD running that offense is it was making TVD think. You had to do some type of pro style stuff. He had to think in that offense, and it was not there. Because as much as we can criticize Gaddis, we can go back and look at games where we're seeing receivers running wide open, and TVD just can't catch on. He can't hit the right man, or when he throw, he can't throw the ball correctly. Maybe because he's a step too late. Him having to think and having to actually operate an offense, we talked about it already. It's just that we seen these 4 games go by and we just gonna be hush on it. Last night, Georgia Tech, it's like they got in the zone and said, okay, we gonna make him be patient and make him try to think his way through this game. You probably saw the most ineffective TVD you've probably ever seen in your life. Because the other ineffective TVD was getting rushed, was getting sacked in this. Nobody was touching this guy. But he had to make the correct decisions, the correct reads, and the correct throws last night. They forced him to do that, and he could not do that. So we talking about his mentality. His mentality is what it is. It's almost robotic at this point. If I do something good, if I drive up some good plays, he gonna be good. If I can't, he ain't gonna help me win. What part of him standing in his game is making you say, you know what, he gonna bounce back against USC, UNC? You ain't nobody out there can sit there and say they got the confidence to say, oh, he went through this game, he gonna bounce back against UNC. No, it's let me see. We gotta wait and see. So I don't care about his mentality at this point because I don't think it really matters.
Right. We got DJ Medi. Look what Medi in the comment section. We got Medi in here. Medi in the comment section. So it's kind of like I got a best friend, man, that coached basketball, and the way he used to explain that, Kyle, was, listen, man, some of these undisciplined teams that we play, I'm not going to press them. I'm going to sit back in zone, and I'm going to make them make the correct passes, and make the correct decisions. Mario came to the podium last night and said they were sitting back in the zone, giving us everything underneath, and we had to be patient.
And what was crazy about them giving up what was underneath, when you look at the numbers, the personnel they had on the field, from a sheer size perspective, we still should have been going up top because we got Kobe Young and we got Isaiah Horton, who I don't even think he had a target this game. But we got receivers like that. We got Brashard, who can clearly run past everybody in their secondary, period. We didn't do nothing with him. We got Ray who could do. He wasn't even on the field. I'm like, are we really watching the same game? I want to touch on the running game too. We running up the middle the whole game. You even saw it with some of the runs where some of the zone reads where Parrish had to bounce into another hole and he got a couple yards. I'm like, why aren't we running? Why our line was so much bigger than their front seven? I'm like, why aren't we doing any type of pulling, running some of these stretch plays where our running backs can go for 15, 20, 25, 30 yards? Why are we sitting here doing the same thing up the middle? I personally believe we could have had 250, 300 yards rushing had we looked at the personnel they had on the field and said, let's exploit their personnel because we are much bigger than they are, both from the skill players. We're faster than they are with our skill players. And then our line was just so much bigger than theirs. This is why we was getting so much push when we were running up the middle, because we're so much bigger. Could you imagine Inez Cooper pulling against one of their linebackers. Come on, man. That's a house call.
You know, the one thing I hate about what I seen yesterday was we didn't throw no quick screen. I didn't see no quick screens a lot. I didn't see and they sitting in zone, so quick screens want to be the zone.
They threw the one to Kobe Young on third down, and they got
third down.
Yeah, and they caught him in the backfield.
Not even with Kobe. Like, okay, you got Ray, you got Bashard, you got these fast guys. You can throw some quick screens to let them guys do their thing.
We didn't do. No, even when we saw him struggling, we didn't. I don't know, X. Y'all help me out. Kyle, y'all help me out. Even when he was struggling, we didn't start. All right, man, let's give him some. You know what I'm saying? Let's give him some scrub receivers, Shea Holmes, some flares at the backfield. I thought Chris Johnson caught the ball one time at the backfield.
You give him something easy to get him going. You know what I'm saying? Okay, he's struggling. He's struggling reading his own. Let me give him something easy, get his confidence built. Where maybe when we start throwing the ball down the field, it'll be easy for him.
But what was easier than what we was giving him? This is all his check downs was open, everything. What was easier than that? That's what I ain't understand. I don't like babying this dude, bro. What was easier than the throws that you weren't making? The Restrepo interception, McCormick was sitting right there in the middle of the field. The running back had one already slid out right there. Kobe Young is running the post. I don't understand. Like, what more do you want? Like that's what bothered me. X, like, oh, let's give him some screens. Just no, I need him to make the plays, man. I really didn't understand it. It's not like we was running so much complicated stuff, but I like y'all were talking about the run game. Y'all let me know, because a part of this is, as we dig deeper, we're gonna start looking into what the heck Dawson had going on. Yeah, we weren't pulling and all that stuff, and I'm wondering, were we trying something new? Because they kept highlighting how much we were double blocking the cornerbacks, and I'm like, do we do that every game? But it's like every play we was at the double, we had two guys blocking the cornerback.
Most of the time with receivers or tight end, if he's not lined up to the line of scrimmage, they do that mostly.
But why aren't we cracking linebackers or something? I thought that was weird. I don't know. Maybe that's the first time I probably paid attention to it. So I was thinking, in lieu of the pulling, is that what we're doing? Or like I don't know.
No, for one, our offensive line has been doing a good enough job to get to the linebackers in the second level. So we haven't really needed to crack the linebackers or stuff like that. Our tight ends and our offensive line has been doing an excellent job so far.
But that's how you break. That's how you break, X. And you, like Rich just said, you saw Paris having to jump and jump into different holes and take it to the outside and all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't like the line did great. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like every single time we just got a big gaping hole up the middle. Paris was creating a lot of those runs. And who was getting them was the second and third guy. Yeah. So I don't know. Dawson was kind of off last night too. I don't know what he was. There's nothing to save. Just run what you did against the other teams. I don't know what was going on with him last night.
And I'm gonna say this real quick. I remember last Sunday, I was talking about TVD, and we were talking about top quarterbacks and where he's going to be in the draft. And I had people in the comments section saying, "Oh, Richard don't know what he's talking about. He don't know football. He this, he that," because they was drinking the Kool-Aid with TVD. And I mean, I don't care what TV does for the rest of the season. I do not care. He could throw for 400 yards for the next 7 games. We can't unsee what we saw.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, what's going on? You in here, Sean?
Unmute yourself, Sean.
He unmuted. He told me to come back to him. Fell asleep again.
I'm with Rich, and that was his whole point. He was like, bro, they not, you don't just erase last year off the docket just because you having a good 4 games right now. He's saying, like, right now they're not gonna forget this. This probably was the nail in the coffin for TVD as far as being a top 5 quarterback selection and stuff. I think this was the nail in the coffin, because I think he really needed a lot to redeem himself. That's got to be it. Like, you can't erase that. Like, it's like you think the girl take off her drawers one time and she got a stain in them. You ain't gonna never forget that. She ain't coming back to your house. So it ain't going away, bro. Like, I don't know what he can do to change that, bro. Because I think what you saw was his inability to think.
And for Chris to say that you pull TVD out in the season shot, bro. Listen, I don't think I think Ja'Cory Brown wins that game. I don't think Ja'Cory Brown goes out there and throws 3 interceptions. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. I think Ja'Cory Brown grabs his nuts and wins that game, whether it's running or throwing those little intermediate passes that Georgia Tech was letting us have. So, our quarterback situation isn't, you know what I'm saying? It isn't like it was in the past. I think we have a decent quarterback situation. TVD is the guy. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I think Ja'Cory Brown beat Georgia Tech last year on the road.
Yeah, he beat Georgia Tech last year.
Whooped Georgia Tech. He whooped Georgia Tech. Yeah, this may be a different team and all that kind of stuff, but Ja'Cory could have gave you that 10-minute interception when it happened with Ja'Cory, because at the 5-minute mark, he would have ran anyway.
He would have ran.
You get what I'm saying? Like, he would have saw the positive.
That's what I was just about to say. Ja'Cory could have won that game and not even threw a pass.
Yeah.
Because if they sitting back in zone like that, and you saw they front 7 and all in the box, none of them will spread out. Hell, that's 10, 20 yards, especially with a quarterback with Ja'Cory's speed. He probably takes 1 or 2 to the house. He probably didn't even have to throw a pass.
No,
he definitely
Ja'Cory,
gets us in that range.
He leads us through that game. Like, Ja'Cory would have led us to a win, because I mean that game was placed in balance for many reasons, and it comes down to the end of the game. But just James Williams gets the interception, damn near runs it in. You know what I'm saying? And we don't score right there.
We had to settle for 3 points. That's why I say it was. I know everybody putting all of the blame on TVD. TVD, you had it back in, but I'm blaming Dawson. Dawson, what the hell were you doing? Like, you didn't. It didn't look like you just drew up anything yesterday. I guess you kept thinking we was playing these other teams. Like, okay, well, whatever we run, it's going to win. It's going to work. It didn't work yesterday.
Actually, I was scared to death of TVD throwing the ball. I kept putting in the villain group me, hey, should Miami throw the ball here, or should they just run? When your quarterback is playing like that, right, and you're the OC, which to TVD's defense, he threw us out of it, right, and got Kobe Young caught. Well, when he caught Restrepo, he came right behind that and threw an interception. But he got Kobe Young open, and we took the lead, right?
Yes.
But when your quarterback is playing like that, and you the OC, right? Like that doesn't alter your play call, and that doesn't alter. TVD wasn't, dog. TVD, I don't know what he was seeing, dog. It's almost as if he may be colorblind, and black is that color he can't see. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I don't know if it alters your play calling, because at a certain point you got to trust your quarterback. If he's just constantly out there making mistakes, if you're not going to bench him, you want to keep him in the game, but you still got to run your plays. So you got to call plays that's comfortable enough for you to call and comfortable enough for the quarterback to run. Again, I don't know. Like you say, I don't know what he was looking at. And it's like these guys are triple covered and you're still throwing the ball. I don't know if you think Calvin Johnson is there or what. You can't throw the ball into triple cover. That's just crazy. Like, but again, he could have done something to help TVD by throwing screens. You know what I'm saying? Throwing little slant routes and stuff like that, or something easy for him. We're gonna make the game as simple as we can, because you're messing up, TVD, and we don't want you to keep messing up. So we're gonna lose this game.
I'm gonna bring Bird in. Bird, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, y'all? Y'all doing all right? Y'all can hear me?
Sure, bro. What's going on, man? How you felt about the game last night, bro?
Shit, Street, man. I was with you at first, on the whole TVD thing, and how him coming out for this ACC thing and about to go off. But yeah, man, he took about 5 steps back last night, man.
Dog is a wild card, dog. I have no clue, fool. Like, we have no clue what he's going to go to North Carolina and do. For the people that think he's going to go up there and sit the bed, we have no clue what he's going to go up there and do.
I feel you, Street. I feel you, dog. I feel you. But last night, he looked like last year, man. He didn't look like that 2 year ago. I want NC State TVD. We have yet to see that TVD come back since that game. It's like when Manny told him to don't do that no more. It's like all the swag, confidence that it killed all that, man. He just been
he went off against Texas
middle
A&M,
of the road kind of guy.
Didn't he play well against Texas A&M?
He played well against Texas A&M.
He played well against Texas A&M, but I'm just saying, Street, far as like the fire, the demand that he had with that NC State game. You feel what I'm saying? Like he knew without a doubt we was gonna win that game. You feel what I'm saying? Like he was not going in there to take no.
He knew that too, and then don't forget he had somebody who was in the locker room with him to kind of like help him. Remember, I keep telling y'all, once Derek King left, team, he has nobody in the locker room that's helping him. Derek King was literally right there helping TVD that year when Derek King got hurt and TVD went off. Derek King was helping TVD. Nobody.
I mean, he got Malik Rozier's phone number. You gotta call him, ask him how to be a leader.
We talk about in the locker room. We talk about the locker room on the field with you. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody, when I mess up, I can go to the sideline and he can tell me, "Hey, all right, this is exactly what you did wrong. Do it this way." You know what I'm saying? This is how I used to do it, and this is why it's worked. Stuff like that. You can't call Malik to win the game.
You put that nigga on the sideline. Somebody, man, it's got to be. I don't know, bro. It's just like if I've been trained to lead my troops and we get out there and I'm like, oh man, I need to call commander. I can't. I shouldn't have put you out there. I get it. I ain't saying you wrong, but I'm just like, bro, I just don't want to keep looking at these different avenues and excuses for this man mentally, dog. I need you to figure it out. I need you to get it done. I don't know.
Right, and that's kind of where I'm at with it with Tyler, man. And it's like
breaking up, Bird.
Yeah, you freezing up, Bird. Try to come on back.
KB, it's not no excuse. I'm not giving TV. He had a bad game. I'm not giving.
I know it.
My thing, like again, everybody expecting TVD to be Tom Brady or Peyton Manning. He's not that. You know what I'm saying? He's TVD. He's the laid back guy who plays off of momentum. You know what I'm saying? When it's going good, it's going good. But guess what? When it's going bad, it's only one way to go because you know what I'm saying? He don't have that to change the scenario.
And that's what we was talking about, Maddie. And I know Maddie finna give us a nice 10-minute segment, and I'm gonna let my dog roll. But we talked about this before. Like, you're the quarterback, sir. Like, I don't know what else to say. When is the last time we had a quarterback that wasn't the leader of the team, even when they're playing bad? Even when Malik Rozier was kind of Jekyll and Hyde, as Rozier told you, I'm gonna go to such and such and cuss him out. I can't cuss this one out because he don't respond. But I'm going to take the initiative to get my team together. Ain't nobody tell me Ja'Cory Harris was not a leader. You can't tell me. Maybe Brock Berlin. I don't know. That's how far back you got to go to tell me the last time the quarterback was not the leader of this team. Even Kyle Wright acted like he was somebody even when he played garbage. I don't. Bro, I got to get it. I got to have it. You probably make almost offensive coordinator money with your NIL, bro. I got to have it.
Bird, where you from, bro?
I'm from Georgia.
What part of Georgia you in?
I'm up here in Cobb right now, not far away from Atlanta, about 15, 20 minutes from Atlanta. But I'm originally from Rome.
Rome, Georgia?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Rome, Georgia.
Yeah. How long it took you to grow your hair like that, dog?
I'm 5 years in.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I tried, though. I couldn't get past the press stage where you couldn't get no haircut, no tape, man. I had too many jobs. I couldn't get past that stage, though. I tried, though. I wanted to go dress so bad when I got out the Marine Corps, man. And they made you like, man, you can't get no tape. You just gotta let it grow.
Street, what we talking
I was
about?
working for Pepsi, man.
Hey, but look, for real though, Street and everybody on the panel. Like, look, I think really for real, what's got everybody mad is a simple fact, like a lot of folks are saying, man. We beat Georgia Tech last year with JB just being JB. You know what I mean? So it's like we expect Tyler, who, you know what I'm saying, we can't deny he got the arm talent and everything. We expect him to go out there and do 10 times better than what we did last year. So that's why, you know what I'm saying, it hurts worse. And it's like, damn, why didn't you put JB out there?
Very conflicted. We had a nice conversation last night. You know what I'm saying? Why not put JB out there? That's a very complicated situation, bro. But JB coming. He's just gonna come. He coming on his own time.
He definitely coming.
Put him out there? Yeah.
He definitely coming, and I agree with you on that. And real talk, I'm just gonna be real, man. I feel like he is gonna be that quarterback because of the use of his legs, my man. I mean, Emory's got it too, arm talent wise, but that stand in the pocket statue quarterback shit is not it anymore, yo.
You think it's over?
It's a wrap on that. It ain't too many Brady's, Eli's, and Peytons around there no more. You look in the NFL, all of them can move, yo.
Yeah. I think the value of the quarterback
he can move. He can move. He's not. He just not.
He just don't.
Hope is everybody else who's playing. But the one thing you gotta understand too is I gotta go back to the TVD. Everybody putting all these high expectations on TVD. TVD is basically just a quarterback who can throw the ball good. He's not the guy. If he gets down in this bad situation, going to get you out because that's just not his character. That's never been him. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if the expectations are
am I asking you too much?
Right,
it's Georgia Tech. Am I asking too much to be good against Georgia Tech though?
But yeah, I mean, he obviously got to beat Georgia Tech. But again, like this is what y'all want TVD to be this, and y'all have to realize, okay, he's just not that. Can he throw the ball?
Same guy that beat Texas A&M.
I just need you to be all right.
TVD was Vanilla Vic last week.
Crazy legs. I gotta take that back, man. I can't even use crazy legs no more. He's shuffling and throwing the ball to Kobe Young with a man already around his waist. Like, God, come on, crazy legs. What we doing?
Shout out to my boy Mehdi, man. Mehdi, hold up, man. Mehdi ain't here, man. Mehdi, I don't know what Mehdi did last night. He feel a little better this morning. He may have a different view on the things, man. But Mehdi was hot last night, dog. I'm hurt, dog. Don't ask me if I'm all right. Mehdi, man, you got a different take this morning, man. You
Absolutely the hell not. What you thought this was? You thought I woke up feeling fuck no. Let's get this clear. Okay?
Where did music come from?
No, it's been a while. I gave y'all one. It's been a while. Y'all thought I was gonna sleep on it and feel better? No. I stand on this and I'm gonna keep standing on this shit. I said this last night, I'm gonna say it again. We did talk. We talked to JB people. I said, look, I don't want to hear anything about excuses about Tyler's hurt. The OC's bad. The line ain't blocking. Better O-line. Better OC. Healthier Tyler. Still managed to throw 3 interceptions. Against the same team that we saw Ja'Cory Brown go into Georgia Tech and beat handedly. Against the same team we saw Cam Kitchen cement his All-American candidacy. But y'all trying to explain to me and tell me that Tyler's supposed to be the guy. Nah, we're not doing that. I said this yesterday in the chat. I'm saying it right now. Tyler, I'm on your ass. And Rich said it. He said, "Oh, you can't forget that. You damn right we can't, and I won't. You can't throw another incomplete pass that looks questionable, or I'm on your ass. You can't stare a receiver down too long, or I'm on your ass. I'm already standing on it. Y'all can forget hearing anything about me supporting Tyler. You know I was skeptical about him. He played that game against Texas A&M. I thought, oh, maybe he's back. Maybe he can show me something. Nope, wrong. He ass. I don't believe in him. I don't trust him. Give me JB11. I'm out this bitch.
No, who selected this music? Who making the call on this music, dog? What is that? That's some band out of South Dakota. What is that?
I'm avoiding the copyright strike because I'm gonna talk my shit.
Yeah, it's right. It's hard for him to play something that he gonna get struck
We gonna huddle up after this. I'll get you some better music.
The shit I want to play is probably gonna get you a copyright ban. So I'll play that.
We can do better than that, though.
Hey KB, I wanted to ask you something. I think it was last show or maybe last week you asked me about the tight ends. How you feel about Riley Williams when he caught that pass?
That's where I'm stuck at, X. I don't understand what we doing with the tight ends. Are we waiting to let loose with that? You know what I'm saying?
Look, when he threw that pass and caught that pass, I was like, okay, this is the game we finna see right now. We finna start throwing balls to tight ends. And then they just stopped.
It didn't stop. Cam was open all night, which I expect him to be. But do a couple of dunks there. So now it makes their zone harder to play. I'm with you, X. I don't know what I just kept assuming we're waiting for Arroyo. We want to keep it hidden from everybody until Arroyo get back. But now I'm thinking we might be too far in to start using the tight end. Like, I don't know if he want to go back and incorporate that. I thought he may be saving it, and maybe he still is. I don't know. But I'm with you on that, X.
Didn't he drop one? Didn't Riley Williams drop one?
Yeah, he dropped the pass also. He dropped the pass. It was a post route or something like that. Post corner, one of them, something like that.
Mm-hmm. I saw Skinner. Did I see Skinner last night?
Skinner got on the field. They didn't target him though. I don't know. And it's again, McCormick was open every time he ran it. I don't know if that's by design or the other team is saying, man, let this old man let the old man run around. Don't bother him. But they open.
So update, man. Mark Fletcher was out the game. Mark Fletcher was out. Mesidor still out. Mark Fletcher may be out a while, I think. I think he had a walking boot on. Mesidor out. Who else was surprisingly out?
Francis Melville, he went out. I think shoulder. I think it was out. To be honest, it looked like a stinger because they kept trying to pull his shoulder and rub it down. It looked like it was one of those stingers.
I didn't see. I don't know. Did we see a lot of West last night?
Yeah, West was on the field. West was on the field.
Okay. I just heard him. That's what I'm saying. I kept hearing his name. And I'm like, well, what a Wesley package is that? But I kept hearing his name all night. The Cloud dude, whatever his name is, Floyd.
Yeah, on that touchdown that they got, that guy was in the game. I'm kind of upset. Like, you got to get this guy in the game. Man.
He got ran over.
Who?
One of our transfer linebackers.
The guy I refuse to call him.
Man, say his motherfucking name, KJ Cloyd. Fucking dance around the topic, man.
Yeah, man. He's bad. He's bad for us. You got to put.
But they all still
somebody. Come on.
But you know, it's hard that we can't even sit up here and talk about the defense, bro. They played lights out last night. This is just crazy, bro. It's too much, bro. They played lights out, bro. I don't have nothing to complain about.
This is a touchdown.
Coming along.
But again, we lost. We lost the game. I don't think at one point, even though we lost, it's still there's no point that I could say that team was better than us at any part of the game. I think the last 30 seconds they just outcoached us and just was better than us.
I don't even know about outcoached. We just made our own mistakes. I wouldn't say outcoached. We just made our own mistakes. There's nothing they did.
Any coach?
Outcoached how?
Kneel the fucking ball. Kneel the fucking ball.
That's still not being outcoached.
That's absolutely outcoached. Because when they say, "Oh, they didn't go through," they gave it
to They defense smart. They defense saying, "Oh, these niggas ain't letting the ball." Defense, y'all know what y'all supposed to do, man. Strip that ball out of that man's hand.
I said that live in the chat. I said there was one play where Don ran for it and he got stood up. And normally they let that play, but I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, why is the ref sitting there looking at the ball and taking so long to blow the whistle dead or blow the play dead? And I was like, I said they're trying to pull the ball out and give them the fumble. And like 6 people in the chat agree with me, maybe more. And I was like, okay, cool. So I don't know why, but as soon as I saw his shoulder hit that ground and I saw the ball come out, I said, this shit ain't getting overturned.
I
said shit
I'm
ain't getting overturned.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a little deeper, man, with the villains, man. We'll get in the Discord probably later, bro. But real talk, man, weird loss, tough loss. But like I said, like I started it. If you see in the background right there, we got the schedule right there. Miami Destiny is right on the schedule. It's just right on the schedule. I mean, so listen, either Cristobal and them gonna step up and make it happen, or you know what I'm saying, or just they're just not there yet. But the destiny is right there. You get a chance to beat Florida State, Louisville, Clemson, North Carolina, and NC State. They all right there.
And once again, I'm not using transitive properties because I don't believe it. There's zero chance that this team wins anything. Think about this. Last night's supposed to be victory was supposed to tie our last year's season win record. Last night's victory was. You think that Tyler Van Dyke is going to go into number 14 North Carolina and suddenly be the guy we saw at Texas A&M? No. Clemson.
You've seen him flip flop.
He did it last year.
Numerous times.
Yeah, he did last year.
He did it last year.
Yeah, last year.
You don't know who Tyler's going to be.
He did last year.
Who Tyler's going to be from week to week.
He did last year. Y'all blame Gaddis. Y'all blame the O-line. Y'all blame everything except Tyler Van Dyke. Oh, his shoulder's hurt. He has a shoulder injury. Well, when all those things weren't a factor at home in the Rock nighttime game, what happened? Now you trying to sell me on the idea that he gonna go into North Carolina with Drake May, who's playing lights out. He didn't have to try yesterday, and they scored 40 on Syracuse. And I watched the refs cheat Syracuse in the first play of the game. They punted the ball. Syracuse stopped them. They punted the ball, drove down. They blocked the kick. The punter somehow refielded the kick. He caught the block, ran and got crushed short of the line again. And I watched the refs give him the first down. If you think that ref crew is going to give Miami a break next week, I'm going to sell you a beachfront property up here in North Dakota, because it's on next week. And if Tyler Van Dyke is leading this team, we about to lose a lot of fucking games.
All right, dog. Listen, breathe, take a breath. Wait, where your wife at? Tell her to come give you a hug. Where's she at, dog? You can give you a hug. You need a hug.
Give me Jacory Brown. I took a deep breath.
Take a breath. All I'm saying is their destiny is in front of them. Opportunity awaits, dog. That's all I'm saying. From week to week, we don't know who these teams are. The destiny is in front of them, and it's up to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to them.
My thing is
this.
this.
Way to put it.
Look, Street, we haven't touched on it yet. I don't know if we were going to, but here's the thing. We got to move forward, like you said, and the destiny's in front of them. They got their destiny in front of us. My thing is, how do you respond, right? We got to figure that part out, because, again, everybody's been playing on a high level. Everybody's been playing on a high level as a collective, besides TVD. And you saw it the other day. I repeated, man, them guys was playing lights out. Do you turn that off? Like, does that get turned off? That's what I'm worried about. Because this is what happened last year. We let Texas A&M, we played our best game. We let that game turn into 2 losses, then 3 losses, or whatever. We can't do this again. So it's so confusing. Like, if the rest of the team played like TVD, I would be looking at a downtrend. I would be like, man, this North Carolina thing ain't finna look good. See, now it's all about the week of practice and what is Mario going to say to these guys and how is he going to get them prepped? Because they played really, really well. At this point, I don't know what you can do with TVD. Either he going to show up or he going to not. I'm with Medi. You need to have that emergency flag in your back pocket to bring in JB. That's just my opinion. Have some packages ready. But it's all about what are we about to do going forward? This is the biggest test for Mario. Okay, we came off a fucking stupid loss. What am I gonna say to these guys? Obviously, it's a different group of guys, but like Warren Sapp said, whatever he said to them dudes last year after that Texas A&M game didn't resonate with the team, and he lost the team from there. I don't think he cared. I don't think he cared whether he lost them or not. I think Streeter was right all along. He just had been testing the kids. Who gonna be here, who not, right? This is different now. Obviously, yeah, whatever you told them last year, you can't tell them again. So I hope you got something prepared to tell them to keep James Williams playing like he is. I'm not saying James is gonna get lazy or nothing like that, but to keep him fired up and running across the field, to get Cam back to where Cam should be, to get you see my Kiko is starting to play well. He's starting to catch up. You know what I'm saying? You got Jafari still playing well. You got the receivers, they hype when they catch the ball. You got the running backs out there running hard. Patterson got to run hard. You got to make sure that stays. And I don't know how you make sure that stays because the kids, they're human. Everybody's human. And when you start to see shit go bad and the culture start to go bad, it goes down for everybody. So this is going to be his biggest test thus far. How do you keep this thing afloat? Because I don't know what at this point, ain't nothing you can do with TVD but flip a coin.
I mean, at this point, I don't know if it's about keeping it afloat though. Like I think you got one loss, one bad loss, right?
Last year you can let.
So I mean the locker room. I mean the locker room, Street.
Last year you can let that.
The locker room.
One second, Medi. Well, we finna find out. We finna find out Mario because you know how stoic he is, right? We finna find out. I mean, because it's about leadership and it's about morale and it's about all of that stuff. We're gonna find out if he could steer the ship. I think last year was a lot different. I think intentionally it was done because you had to get some people out of here. You had to, you know what I'm saying? You had to switch the roster. That's not on the table this year. We're about to find out a lot about Mario. Go ahead, Medi.
2 coaches. I'll give you 2 examples. In fact, they both played each other yesterday. I watched Nick Saban bench Jalen Monroe. In my opinion, mainly because the fans didn't want him. And they brought in 2 other quarterbacks. And you watch how they didn't have the team. The team didn't support them, and they almost fucked around and lost to University of South Florida, my wife's alma mater. Yesterday afternoon, I watched Jalen Monroe go 21 for 33, 321 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. Some are saying that's probably his best game against the best. And mind you, that offensive line is trash compared to Miami's. He was running for his life the entire game, but he made Burton, who came from Georgia, look like a fucking star with 9 receptions for 197 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm not saying bench TVD for the rest of the year. I'm saying at some point, you got to have a fucking pivot. You got to have a big joker or a little joker to say, look, y'all can't take this book. To tie to what you said, Street, you said I don't play spades, but I'm a renege. I think TVD about to go off, starting with Georgia Tech. That was your words, not mine. You said it on video at the mansion, right? So I watched him bench Jalen Monroe, and Jalen Monroe has figured it out for that team. I watched last year Jimbo bench the dude who just beat us last night, right? For Connor Wigman. He only goes on to win all the games he started for the rest of the season. Am I mistaken? Maybe lose 1 or 2. And we were praising him this year until he had his foot injury and saying like, man, he gonna be a dog for them in that conference. And I think most people would agree if Connor Williams starts that game against Alabama yesterday, they have the better quarterback and they probably win that game. Let me know if I'm tripping.
Ray, you got something you want to say?
I think, you know, let me say something, Street. I think what's going to be important is to see which player steps up and say, hey, man, look, let's get it together, man. We lost. Let's move forward. Let's get back to playing the football that we've been playing this season so far and go from there. Which player in the locker room is going to do that?
We know who that player is, but he don't play on offense. We know who it is.
I mean, you just need somebody. You just need a player on the team.
He's a leader of the team. He got to be on offense. He's just a leader of the team.
You need somebody in there on that team to fire up the rest of you guys.
I hear you.
My issue is that he was in the middle. He was in the middle of the last play. That's my issue with it. It was like somebody got to go talk to him, pull him up.
That's fine. Okay, I get that. But what I'm saying is the quarter. Man, I was rooting vehemently for Caleb Williams to lose last night. I stayed up writing the paper. I said, this man about to lose. I cannot wait so they can get the fucking pressure off of Miami. Because this shit is inexcusable. And in second, double overtime, I watched him have an absolutely piss poor game as a quarterback, but figured it out with what? His fucking legs. And when he did, they beat an Arizona team led by Jed Fish, mind you. Y'all might remember that name, Canes fans, if you've been around here long enough. When they had and if you look at the quarterback comparison, Jed Fish quarterback was, I can't even say his last name. Some Samoan kid was cooking compared to fucking Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams was not a Heisman candidate last night. On the ground, he was. And when the game was on the line, he was.
Yeah, it's football. But you have tough games.
So when that happens, Caleb Williams is like, I'm going to put this team on my back. Fuck it. It's all or nothing. Tyler Van Dyke don't do that. So we can have Cam. We can have Ed Reed. You can have Ed Reed for all. I'm hurt, dog. Don't ask me if I'm all right. Hell no. Nah. You can have that. But at the end of the day, if Cam, if James is doing that, and then my quarterback go out there and throw 3 picks, what the fuck I'm supposed to do? And we playing elite. I said it. 175 yards through 3 quarters is elite. There's no team in the SEC I can say has done that this year against another P5 opponent. We sitting there watching LSU allow 700 yards the week before, but we talking about a guy less than 200 yards. The group of 5 teams we play have more yardage than Georgia Tech, and that's not a running offense. But all of a sudden, we supposed to sit here and act like Tyler Van Dyke, with all the excuses he made, he's supposed to sit here and rally this team up. No, dog, y'all not selling me on that crap, dog. Y'all not. TVD's not the guy.
Selling you on what,
our
man?
destiny's in front of us, and Tyler's gonna show up next weekend. Man,
you were selling us. You were selling us 2 weeks ago. I didn't say Tyler's gonna show up next week. Man, listen, you don't sit here and act like you wasn't the same guy saying, "Oh, Miami has shut this team down." Oh, that ain't Clemson coming here.
We all said that. We all said that. But
now you saying
we all saying that. But don't sit here and act like that. Don't sit here and say I have not been skeptical consistently about Tyler. I've said it, and y'all can go back and replay the tapes. I said Tyler ain't shit to me until you beat who? North Carolina and Leon County.
We all are, Matty. But their destiny awaits them on their schedule.
It doesn't. Not with Tyler Van Dyke.
That's all I'm saying. You don't want to keep putting him in the middle of it. The team's destiny is on their schedule. Which Tyler Van Dyke gonna show up? I don't
have time to be playing the mental gymnastics, man. Like he is.
He's the one. He's the one beat Texas A&M for you.
That defense didn't do nothing either.
No, the defense. Listen, the defense is going to be solid this year. I think Guthrie is the real one. What just happened between Mario and Dawson and TVD? I'm not sure, bro. Like the defense is going to be solid the whole year. I hang my hat on that.
Me too.
I think it was just a bad game. We kind of
But it
Overreacted. They had a
wasn't.
bad game. No, it was a bad game. They had a bad.
One nigga had a bad game.
Dawson coached
One motherfucker had a bad game.
That's what I'm
Dawson coached a
saying,
bad
dog.
offensive game.
Like,
I don't care what anybody say. Dawson coached a horrible offensive game.
and you know what's
And
crazy?
if you can't
Part of me feels like,
tell, I don't know what to say. He had a
part of me-
horrible game plan.
the whole vibe of that game felt like certain games I saw with Gaddis last year, where it's Mario saying, "Hey, run the fucking ball," and Dawson saying, "You sure?" And Mario saying, "Run the fucking ball. This team sucks."
But he allowed TVD to throw the ball almost what? How many times he threw the ball yesterday? What, 30-something times?
Yeah, because we kept running the ball.
Where?
We kept running the ball to stack boxes. It wasn't a question that they were going to try to stop the run. Like, that's the most obvious answer for any defense. And if I just got promoted, I'm like, okay, what's our glaring issue? We're number 126 out of 130 in FBS and stopping the run. Okay, we're going to stop the run this week. Then it's like, okay, cool. The thing that's been a strength this year is our ability to go over the top. KC3 said it. I said it. I said, hey, we should just be throwing this ball down. And it's not like these motherfuckers was playing 15 yards off like Miami, Ohio. But then it just came down to, I don't want to focus on the fact that Xavier Restrepo got 13 targets is insane. And he's apologizing after the game. Make that shit make sense. Restrepo and Matt Lee is apologizing and telling how they put their heart in this shit. And the quarterback is not on Twitter. And I'm not saying he need to be, but that speaks volumes. Yeah, he cut Twitter off, cut social media off, all that shit. Like,
I think that's why the team gonna bounce back. Because guess what? You got everybody saying, "Yeah, man, we not just gonna throw it on TVD. We all lost." I mean, obviously, TVD, you had the bad game, but everybody said we're not just gonna put it on him. We all lost, and I think the team will bounce back. I think they'll bounce back this week.
I need that image out of my head of somebody having to tell him to keep his fucking chin up. I need that image out of my head. But the one thing I told the street, there was a play when he got to crunch time. I'm gonna give TVD this, and this is kind of like we have to wait and see. Let's see what we can get out of this, right? It was one play he ran for like a first down or whatever, barely got the first down, and he got up, and it's kind of like he awkwardly did the whole first down thing. I was like, okay, that's not TVD. And then in the game, in a game where he's playing this bad, he's still showing some emotion. So I'm like, I'm a hope. I got some hope that there's something there. Like maybe he beats himself up enough to it's like, nah, man, I gotta, whatever. Things gonna happen. I still gotta come out here with a W. Because the street is right. Our destiny is right in front of us. And maybe the guys rally up and say, well, look, whether he do his thing or not, we finna do ours. That's all I want. Because TVD, like I said, he's a front runner. So if we get everything else going well, then maybe he'll play well. So that's all I want. As long as the rest of the guys believe, I'm cool. We'll be all right. I schedule right in front of them. These guys got to look at all this opportunity. Bane, I'm finna hit the big stage soon, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm Don Chaney. I'm Paris, man. I'm trying to get drafted. I'm young. I'm trying to. It's all right there in front of you.
It is.
So
it is.
It's right.
Brandon Brock said, "JB, Jakari Brown is not the answer. QB, come on, guys. TVD
based
not
off
great,
of what?
but he's a better. But he's a better. Medi, put you in timeout, man. Be all right. It's all right, dog. Calm down."
What is that based off of though?
TVD is not great, but he's better option than JB. Listen, Brandon Brock. JB beat Georgia Tech at Georgia Tech last year, bro. Sometimes these thought processes to me, like he beat Georgia Tech at Georgia Tech last year. Now I can hear it in my head, but Cam had to get 3 interceptions. JB wouldn't have went out there and threw 3 interceptions last night. And he would have ran the ball. He would have pulled up his bootstraps, and he would have got us a win. Like
He would have.
I don't understand. I don't understand. TVD had a horrible game. We've seen him play great games. We've seen him have horrible games. He had a horrible game last night. So even if Emory doesn't implode, like any serviceable quarterback could have got us through that game last night. TVD had a bad game. I mean, bad. I'm not sure what he was watching, looking at. It's almost as if they forced him to think. and they forced him to make decisions, and he was just impatient, antsy. Wasn't any pressure. But before we get out of here, dog, this is my question. Like sitting on that field, because we watch it from the field level, right? And we see a lot. What was our pressure? Like, we couldn't get to their quarterback. And if you go watch that game, he was able to break containment anytime he really wanted to. And the refs wasn't really like a lot of it was holding. Like me and Twan sit and watch Mal go 2-3 plays in a row, right? And James said something to the ref where it's just like, we're bigger, we're stronger, and they just held them. But what was our pressure? Like, why was it we bringing any pressure off the edge? Like, we wasn't really doing that stuff.
No, they was getting pressure. They definitely was getting pressure. We had a 70. I forgot what I think it was 77% pressure rate last night. We just wasn't getting to the quarterback.
You don't have 149 yards or 175 yards of offense with no pressure.
We just weren't getting to the quarterback. The thing was, like I keep explaining to everybody.
Okay, so we wasn't getting home, is what I'm talking about, right? Because he was making plays. Because he was making plays. Yeah, he was making plays with his legs.
What's the center name in North Carolina?
You count the touchdown as a pressure, right?
The guy who came from us, right?
Yeah, what's his name?
I forget his name.
The center that left here, I forgot his name.
Yeah,
but
he's still there though.
Listen,
North Carolina.
What you think about that happening next week?
What is his name?
What you think? What you
about
think?
to get held?
Yeah, with Drake May back there. What you the star of the league, the precious quarterback. What you think about to happen next week? You think these refs about to call them hoes next week? They ain't called them in 5 games.
Well,
you think at North Carolina, the darling of the ACC, they gonna call them games now with Mac Brown?
I mean, we gotta coach through it.
That's his name, Corey Gaynor. Corey Gaynor, tell him right now, I don't give a damn what you do. You hold their ass every single play. So Drake May gonna skip the pocket.
What's up?
You said what I said, and I've been saying all year, and I get it. I know what X is finna explain. I get that. But still, there's a point where you have to start getting home. The last play, the last touchdown, right? That could be counted as a pressure, as a hurry. We flustered him out of the pocket, and he still completed the pass. That's what happens when you have so many hurries, but you're not getting home. It's great to get up there and get on the podium and tell everybody that they're doing their job and, oh, these are the hurry numbers and blah, 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 blah. I've seen this. We've seen this forever. They talk about it in the NFL. You still got to get home. Yeah, you can pressure, but you have to start getting home at some point. And that's what Street is trying to say. We still not getting home. I don't care what nobody say. I understand what the defense is doing, what it's supposed to do. And it played great. It played lights out. That still doesn't negate the fact that we have to start getting home, more often than not.
But how do you coach past that?
Bro.
How do you coach past the holds? Because we're gonna get held and they're not gonna call it.
So and that's why I keep saying that one guy that's on our field shouldn't be on the field, because a lot of those are supposed to be him getting tackles for loss or something. He's just standing there like boo-boo the fool. Like, come on, we gotta do something.
Man, I swear, like, why you act like saying KJ Cloyd is like saying Voldemort out loud, like from Harry Potter?
Well, because we not that type of show though, bro. Yeah, we not that type of. We're not that.
I get what you're saying, but it's at some point we gotta, because that's also not coaching, really. Right? It's also coaching. If everybody's telling me he's a 4-4, he's this, he's that, he was a lead at Louisville, blah 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 blah. Louisville don't seem like they miss him. Louisville just beat the number 10 team in America decisively by 2 touchdowns yesterday. Jack Harlow running on the field, getting the post-game interview and all this shit. Like, so if he's here and he's not making it, why does he keep getting on the field?
That's true.
And I'm not being a homer when I say that.
That's his guy.
I'm not being a homer when I say I want to see Bassett, but when I see Bassett, I see Bassett get sacks. I see Bassett get pressures.
Right. And this is coaching too. Yeah. I mean, if he's listening right now, this is coaching. Like, this on you, big dog. Do what you got to do. This is your career. This is your future. Like, go out there and prove all of us wrong, because that's what we want you to do. Because you got number 41 sitting on the sideline. You got a whole bunch of people who could play football just like you can, and they sitting on the sideline while you taking up their time.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
really that simple.
It's definitely coaches because you got Wesley who could come in. You got Chase Smith who could come in. You got even the freshmen, man. I would trust the freshmen more than I trust this guy.
Hey, shout out Najee Kelly, man. Najee
When he came here, I told y'all about him. I said, "No, he ain't that guy. He ain't that guy."
So when did you come to this conclusion, X?
About him?
Because he hasn't been playing horrible, has he?
No, he's been playing horrible. He had that one good game, the first game of the year. After that, it was horrible. It was horrible. Because for one, again, it's like, okay, his reaction timing is probably the worst I've ever seen. I don't know if he thinks just because he's fast, he can just make up. That's not how football works. His reaction time is horrible.
I got a question too. What is the contingency plan when one of your main guys is really stinking up the place? Like when you got TVD stinking up the place. You got Cam that's out of position.
Nah,
and
I'm not putting that on Cam, Rich.
No, I'm not putting it on him. I'm just asking. Like, as a coach, you
No,
gotta
he
know
fucked up too. It's okay.
No, he did on that one play, but let's not act like look.
He shouldn't have been in that position.
Shout out to them for shouting out Jaden in his absence. But that team is a different team, and that defense is different when number 5 is on the field. Period. Some of them plays.
Nobody's debating that though.
He was coming down
But
like
nope.
He made a mistake on the final play of the game, and I give him that. And James was way out of position to try to cover down his mistake. But I'm not gonna sit there and take that one play off of 3 interceptions when we've made all these excuses for Tyler. Like,
but nobody did, Matty. We're not doing that. He was saying he's just saying like what happens when those guys are failing. Like if they fail, he's not calling Cam a failure.
Correct.
But he's just saying like when those things happen, what is the contingency plan? He's not critiquing Cam as a player or anything like that. We know what Cam is. So, really we just trying to get to the answer to that question. It's like, what do we do? This is what X is like. He's trying to like with X is saying this player needs to be replaced. And it's kind of like, well, if we're not into the business of replacing players, what are we doing?
What's the contingency? Like, what do we do? How do you go into a game that looks just like this? Let's say we play UNC and we both in a shootout and it's 42-47.
I'll take a shootout because that means, A, the defense failed miserably, but B, that means if Tyler's the starter, that means he woke the fuck up from whatever this was, right? The contingency, in my opinion, needs to come in the form of what happens when Tyler is off. What is your ace in the pocket that you can be like, look, let's sit him down, or let's take him a couple of series, and I've said it, but I'm at the point where it's like, someone said it, he a 4-year starter and he hasn't progressed, but we make all these excuses for him. So there shouldn't be the need to be a contingency because you've been in college longer than Drake May. And Drake May don't have these type of struggles. The only thing I saw remotely close to a struggle like that is when he played Miami last year. But before that, he was on fire. He was torching ACC teams. And it wasn't close.
We're going to bust his ass this Saturday, man. I think TV will bounce back. I think the team gonna bounce back.
I think this team is gonna bounce back.
Look at that passing. Looking at Matt Lee, man. They got the little clip of Matt Lee going around social media. That passing right there makes me still a believer. Like, we can still salvage this season. Have a pretty good season and do good things. Let's see again. Like I say, I want to hear something tomorrow. About players at practice. I'm trying to reach out to somebody today to see if they had a players only meeting. Or if they do have one later today, that'll kind of be positive right there.
And who's supposed to lead it?
Yeah, that'd be great. Whoever, Matt, we know who's supposed to lead it, but whether it be Lee or Cam, we know the other person ain't leading.
It could be Corey Flagg. I would love for Corey Flagg to lead because Corey Flagg is a leader no matter what people say.
I
I've
agree.
never y'all heard me shout Corey flag out multiple times this year. Y'all think I'm trolling, but I really am because like I said, just conversations.
I want Corey Flag on the field more than that 23 guy, man. Oh, God.
And I think for a while, toward the end of the game, he was. But at the end of the
But
day, like I said,
and
I said this and
that's
I
still
stood
a
on this.
thing, though.
What?
No, so that's still a thing. Like I'm seeing him still getting in games in third and longs and stuff, and I'm go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I stand on this. I said this in the beginning of the season. It's documented. You check text messages I have with people. I said this team goes as TVD goes. Cam is dope. Don't get me wrong. Cam is the man, but this team moves as TVD moves. And last night was your perfect example of it. Do I want TVD to get? Yeah, but I can't be with this 1 foot in, 1 foot out shit. Like, show me who you are. Because last night, I like that is inexcusable. Period. The fact that, like I said, if we didn't have all these excuses for him last year, and he came out there and shredded it up, cool. He throws for 500 plus, got 4 touchdowns, 3 picks. I'm like, all right, it is what it is. But the fact that happened, and like KB has alluded to, him turning to essentially a shell of himself, is why I called him Tyler the Turtle. That's why I stopped calling him TVD and Tyler Van Dimes and all that shit. Because I saw this one too many times. And I played football enough to know that when your quarterback is out of it, that team is not much that team can do. You better have a backup option. We watch the Central right now, one of the most dominant high school football programs in America, go through a quarterback battle, a controversy. Because that shit is where your team goes. That's how your team moves. Despite everything else, you can run the ball for 3,000 yards on people. Who cares? If your quarterback don't do shit, then it doesn't matter. Because at some point when the team figure out, hey, we're going to stop that run, you're going to have to throw that bitch. It's really as simple as that. So at the end of the day, like, yeah, this back and forth, I can't go. I can't deal with it. And you know, in typical, because this, I think he did this last year. Same thing. He was hurt in whatever game we played against before North Carolina. No, we got North Carolina after the bye. The Middle Tennessee State game happened. He throws 2 picks in his first 2 passes against a damn G13 school. We made all excuses. Oh, he's hurt. He's hurt. Sit him down for the rest of the game. Then somebody's got to pick up the slack. He comes out against North Carolina and flames North Carolina. Why do we have to deal with that as a fan base? Why does a coach have to deal with that? Why is the coach as old? Y'all give Gaddis because Gaddis ain't a quarterback coach. Never has been, never will be. Right? He's a defensive back by trade, coaching wide receivers in the OC. He comes back. Tyler has the best game of the season against North Carolina until the last play of the game, and he got the ball picked off. Like, why does the fan base have to deal with that? At least if I look at your career, I can say, well, if the shit break down, or if he ain't feel like this, that motherfucker gonna run it. Like, and we don't get that with Tyler, and we made all the excuses. The offensive line is trash. Tyler's hurt. The OC sucks. We changed all 3 of those things, and I watched him throw 3 interceptions against a team that lost to Bowling Green last week.
In triple coverage.
In triple coverage in the end zone to a 5'8" receiver. I give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt of the one to Jacoby George. I'll give you that. The ball's thrown a little bit behind him. Dude cool. But the 2 that he threw were inexcusable. The other 2 were inexcusable because I was in triple and quadruple coverage. Inexcusable with a clean pocket.
And you know what? Just from a game adjustment perspective, even if we don't play the backup QBs we got, you got to take the game out of his hands. You got to tell your O-line, you got to tell your running backs, if the first half goes differently, if it goes sideways with our QB, we're going to start doing some stretch plays. We're going to make it happen on the ground. Another adjustment that I'd like to see is we got to rotate receivers. We got to put guys in the game. We got to open up the offense and put guys in the game. Brashard needs more touches. Ray needs more touches. You got to get guys in the game who are explosive. Kobe Young needs more shots down the field. Isaiah Horton needs to be in the game and get shots down the field. Allow them to make mistakes. If we allowing TVD to make mistakes, allow those young receivers to get in the game and make mistakes as well, or make great plays happen. We won't ever know what we got until we let those guys loose and let them play. So that's the adjustment I'm looking forward to, because I'm looking at it. We had our 3 starters in the game the whole time. They all had suspect games. I would say except Kobe Young. Kobe Young did his thing as much as he could do with the limited amount of balls thrown his way. Jacoby George was good when it came to blocking, but of course, one ball was picked. That could have went either way. But we just got to understand what we're trying to do and take the ball out of TVD hands when it comes, or take the game out of TVD's hands and put it in other people's hands. That way we have an opportunity for people to step up.
Man, he had a bad game. I'm not throwing him under the bus like everybody. He had a bad game, man. Hopefully he bounces back next week. It's going to be a good battle between him and Mayers. How do you pronounce the dude name? Mayer. Bounce back. Bounce back week, man. Bad game. People have bad games.
But hey, shout out to you for the more victory X. But I don't want to see. You can't have a game like that, a 3 interception, a 1 touchdown to 3 interception ratio game, and have a bounce back game. You got to be elite the rest of the season. Like you have to dominate.
Hey man, I remember saying Cam Dorsey throw interceptions, 2 interceptions in the game, 3 interceptions. I mean, it happens. You know what I'm saying? He had a bad game. You just got to bounce back.
But Ken Dorsey was playing in the Big East. Like let's be real. Like Ken Dorsey wasn't playing elite talent in the BCS era. Is far different than now. This NIL, we paying these kids, that we paying him to be the face of these franchises, right? We bought him from Alabama. You can't have a back and forth with Drake May. I need to see Drake May absolutely eat shit all night and Tyler shred their defense up. Period. And then I need to see you do it again against a terrible Clemson team who couldn't even score 20 points yesterday. Like, it's really that serious at this point. But this back and forth, like y'all give him the benefit of doubt, that's great, but he needs to be elite. Like he's been in college too, he's been in college too long to be having games like this. Like, that's it. Think about Caleb Williams in his second year starting, right? Caleb Williams started as a true freshman.
Mm-hmm.
You will never see Caleb Williams in college throw 3 picks in a game.
I mean, I've seen the quarterback yesterday throw 2 picks in Quentin Rivers. What Ewers?
That's fine. I'm not talking about Quinn Ewers, because Quinn Ewers got hurt last season and he didn't play. Then he transferred from from Ohio State. So really this is his first year being a starter. I give him the benefit of the doubt for that. Caleb Williams, I will put my next 4 paychecks up. I would be hard pressed to see Caleb Williams throw 3 interceptions in a single game with 1 touchdown.
That ain't happening. Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying they'll be hard pressed.
Yeah, he's not gonna do that. He's not.
And he probably getting his name. He probably giving Goodell a hug next year, if I'm being honest, right? And so when we sit here talking about Tyler Van Dyke, who's been in college for this year, yeah, he's at different offense coordinators, but 2 of them have worked in his benefit. And we see what it looked like when he got the back half of the season for 1 year, had a whole season with played with injuries last year, and now we 5 games into this one, and we're not seeing the elite caliber come out of him. We're not seeing him be like, oh shit, we're not seeing him like, oh, let me show y'all why I'm like this. And when he does, it comes in spurts and moments, and it's not consistent. And that's not fair to the team. It's not fair to the entire university to be having somebody putting your team in these type of conundrums, and even still giving you an opportunity to win. That defense still gave them an opportunity to win because they were elite. I'm expecting to do the same thing against North Carolina, unless they completely shit the bed and they lost the team. I'm expecting that team to do the same thing in North Carolina next week. But what is Tyler going to do?
Yo, check it. All of us on this panel, everybody watching at home, we all hope that this does not turn into a negative spiral for Arcane's football team. This is the hope for all of us. They know what they got to do in that locker room, but just like we said in the title of this this particular podcast, their destiny is right in front of them. If we went out versus UNC, Clemson, Florida State, Louisville, Boston College, Virginia, all of them, NC State. I'm not going to downplay none of these teams. If we went out, our destiny is still in front of us, because if we're tied with anybody, we would have beaten all of the undefeateds. North Carolina's undefeated, Louisville's undefeated, Florida State's undefeated. So if we win them games, we still good. We still good. It's just we got to show resiliency. We have to show game time adjustments. So this comes down to a little bit of coaching. Dawson, you got to get back in your bag, man. You got to get focused on that sideline. You got to know what the hell to do when we face adversity like this. And TVD, you need to get your head out the clouds. This is real. This is really happening. Like, you really stunk up the place. Move on from that.
That's how he looked. He looked shell shocked. Y'all ever Streeter? You ever seen those movies? It's your first time somebody at war, and the attack hits, the bomb goes off, and all you hear is the ringing in your ear going beep, and the man just sitting there like, oh shit, what I don't got myself into. Somebody got to grab him. Come on, and shake him out of it. That's how TVD looked. He just looked like he was like, it's the war don't started.
Season ain't lost, but I mean,
it ain't
what
lost
we
at
do
all.
with the season is up to them. It's their destiny is in their own hands for sure.
Yeah,
7 games, 7 more games, man. You got 7 games. You got I think we got 3 more home games, if I'm not mistaken. So you got Clemson, Louisville, and Virginia, and then you got 4 away games. So I mean, yeah, you just got to win those games, man. You can't lose any. Mario said it like this. How you get to the college playoff by winning your conference.
We gave Drake May hell last year, didn't we?
We gave him hell. He had a bad game. He had a bad game. Well, to me, honestly, he had a good game. He hasn't had a good game against you yet.
Everybody look at Mitty. Look at Mitty. Mitty ain't trying to yet.
He hasn't had a good game against me yet, though.
This man I went from we going undefeated to goddamn the sky falling.
That's not. You would never heard me say we're going undefeated on this channel.
No, you never said we was going
never
undefeated.
in my life.
You was really high on our team 24 hours ago. You were really, really high on our team.
Because Tyler fooled my black ass into thinking he took a step, and he's the same person.
He fooled my black ass too.
We said talking about Jordan Travis, but Jordan Travis really took a step. And at this pace, he's gonna step his foot up in Miami ass. At this rate, if Tyler is our quarterback, so I'm sorry, man. Like, shout out to y'all. But if Tyler's leading this team, I'm not fucking with him, man.
So listen,
I'm not.
Because I swear to God, dog, like Florida State didn't have a chance against us 2 days ago. Listen, dog, it's up to Mario and them. The destiny awaits them, dog. It's right in front of them. It's right on their schedule. They got to beat the team that's right in front of them. I didn't think Miami was going undefeated. I mean, so the losses was going to come somewhere. I just didn't think it was going to be Georgia Tech. Fine. You got that out of the way. You got to beat the team that's in front of you, man. We about to get ready to get up out of here and let these people go watch NFL football, bro.
Buffalo losing right now, 25-20.
Thanks to everybody that came on, bro, that jumped in here. Shout out to the Village. Make sure you subscribe because this is the new channel. If you're watching on Twitter or if you're watching on Facebook because I kind of did it to Twitter and Facebook today, also live at the same time. Shout out to y'all, man. Hit the like button for us. Hit the subscription. It's free. The membership coming. Villains, we're going to get in here, man. We're going to get a little deeper tonight in the Discord on what I think and how that game felt and just my different take on just what I saw, man. Y'all got anything before we get out of here, bro?
I'm good.
Go Canes.
All right, man. We out of here. Oh, bro, we out of here, man. I guess I'll leave y'all with this. People say go Canes. Not with that. Not with that. I didn't not leaving y'all with that. That's Jake Garcia, man. Jake Garcia got a baby on the way. I don't want to leave y'all with that. I'm leave y'all with Ray praying. No, I'm leave y'all with that. I'm leave y'all with
inside 40 seconds.
Right.
Which means you take a knee, and then at that point, you don't have to take another snap.
Kyle Leaford is the guy who, by the way, is trying to rip the football out.
I mean, there are a number of layers here. Inside 40 seconds.
Right.
Which means you take a knee, and then at that point, you don't have to take another snap.
Kyle Leaford is the guy who, by the way, is trying to rip the football out.
I mean, there are a number of layers here. Inside 40 seconds.
Right.
Which means you take a knee, and then at that point, you don't have to take another snap.
Kyle Leaford is the guy who, by the way, is trying to rip the football out.
I mean, there are a number of layers here. Inside 40 seconds.
Right.
Which means you take a knee, and then at that point, you don't have to take another snap.
Kyle Leaford is the guy who, by the way, is trying to rip the football out.
I mean, there are a number of layers here.
Throw intercepted. James Williams working back across field into Georgia Tech territory, and he will be knocked out of bounds inside. Canes bring 3 here. King will throw, intercepted.
Certainly gets his money worth. Clearly a face mask, and certainly gets his money worth. Clearly a face mask, and protection by Georgia Tech. I've been saying it on that climb. Go ahead and climb in the pocket. Kind of just sit back at the top of your drop. They know where to find you, and that's great. It's pretty good pass protection by Georgia Tech. I've been saying it on that climb. Go ahead and climb in the pocket. Kind of just
no Restrepo on the field. Van Dyke will be
sit back at the top of your drop. They know where to find you, and that's great.
Sacked. Moala again. No Restrepo on the field. Van Dyke will be sacked. Moala again. No Restrepo on the field. Van Dyke will be sacked. Moala again. No Restrepo on the field. Van Dyke will be sacked. Trey Cooley trying to bounce to the perimeter. Cannot break away from Brown. Trey Cooley trying to bounce to the perimeter. Cannot break away from Brown.